Hello everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. Welcome to the Stepping Up YouTube hop. It's the school themed hop that Sarah Scrass puts on, hosts every year, and I'm excited to play. I actually had like the perfect photo for this particular subject about kind of like school supplies and their just growing up and everything. However, I've misplaced the photo. So my options here are I have this photo of my my youngest feet, which doesn't really school theme, but it does kind of fit that part of the theme. And then I just have kind of some other photos that I can work with that are school themed, and we'll have a look to see which ones I choose, what I come up with to use. I do have this piece of pattern paper from Chamel's field trip that I'm kind of wanting to use, but I have some scraps as well that I can play with. So let's get you on fast forward and let's see what I come up with.
The first thing I'm going to do is cut this rainbow up and then distress around the edges so that I can put it onto another piece of background paper, just a white one you'll see in a minute, and make my rainbow the way I wanted it to be, because I like there to be texture in my layouts. Also knowing that chances are this isn't going to be a very heavily embellished layout. I do have this collection, but embellishment wise, I don't have a ton to work with, if that makes sense. I've got little bits and pieces, but not a lot that I just want to tuck in. And I find the field trip was a very random embellishment collection, and just sometimes the pieces just don't work. I can do random embellishments, but not always, and not with this one. So I got them all distressed the way I like them. I'm putting them right back in the same colors that they were. I wasn't trying to do anything different with that. I also had a border strip, a ruler, and then one of those like squiggly lines. What do you call that back in the day that we used to do with all the different colors and the little tracing things, and I can't think of what you call them right now, but I used one of those as well. I'm going to trim my photos down a little bit. There's a lot of kind of background in these photos, so I don't really need that. One of them I'm going to trim down a little bit more than the other so I can layer them on top of each other. And then I will mat one with gray and one with blue to really kind of help them stand out and not kind of blend in together, because these photos are very, very, very similar. One, he's smiling, one, he's sticking his tongue out. And that is basically the two different looks I get from my child when I ask him to let me take a picture of him. Now, once I have these backed and all kind of trimmed out here, I will line them up at the bottom of the rainbow. I like the idea of having him be kind of right in the middle at the bottom, so it's like he's there and then everything kind of spreads out around him. I have a few little bits that I'm going to add. I'm going to add the color wheel. I do tear it in half, so hopefully I can use the other half on another project. I didn't want to waste that. I add the little journaling block there, and it's a wonderful world, because who is not excited at the end of school? I'm going to use one of these pre-made words that says awesome, and then at the top on the ruler I'm going to spell out last day of school up there in the little silver alpha that came with this collection as well. And that is the embellishing pretty much that I'm going to do. However, it was too basic. I did need to do something to kind of ramp up where it was at. And so what I decided to do is go through my box of sequins. I have a ton of them because I am on the design team for Spiegel Mom Scraps. And I'm just going to go ahead and color match some sequins to the colors in the rainbow. And yeah, I'm going to spend the time and fill in each one of the rainbows just right down the middle of each color and add in some sequins for that. And I'm going to show you how I go about it, because I think everyone does using sequins and how they glue them down. Everyone does it in a little bit of a different way. You could, if you really wanted to take the time, you could stitch each one of them. That would take forever, but you definitely could, and it would make a really neat effect, and you know the sequins would not be going anywhere. I just simply take my adhesive, which is the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, and my little jewel picker, and I just find the color I want and stick it down. Yes, there are times when I lose the sequins that I had put on there over time. They fall to the bottom of the page every once in a while. It doesn't bother me at all. Some people that would really bother, and so they don't do this technique, and that's okay. You have to do what's in your comfort zone. What if something like that bothers you, don't, but you do what works for you. But yeah, I spent the time. I think it took me a little while. I did it in little chunks, so I wasn't like, oh, this is taking forever. And I finished it up the next morning, which is why my light is so different. And I just kind of went to town and color matched and loved the way they all turned out. I am going to show you which mixes I used. However, I don't know if any of them are in the shop because they're all probably old. But again, you can always head on over to the Spiegel on Scraps website, and you can use my code Christy15. It will give you 15% off in the shop. So I used We Are Royals Oceanfront, a special for Wild Whisper, so I doubt you could get that. I used, let's see here, Mermaid Fiesta and Classic Cozy, which I know is not available anymore. That's an old Christmas line, and Neon Summer. So if you happen to have those in your stash, they're there. Here's a look at my finished layout. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to continue hopping along. See you guys all again soon. Bye, everyone.